In 1980, Pastor John Lloyd responded to God's sovereign call to leave his ministry in Fort Wayne, Indiana, stepping out in faith to move to Clearwater, Florida. Pastor John founded the church with 8 people in the living room of Paul and Ellen Eckley in 1981, calling it Countryside Christian Center. They would soon need to find another location, as their fellowship of 8 grew to over 50. In 1982, the ministry found a new home at the Kapok Tree on McMullen Booth Road. With more room here for expansion, our church grew from 50 to 200. Then, in an unusual move, the Lord led Countryside to the 12th floor of the 1100 building in downtown Clearwater. It remained our church home for the next 4 years. Would anyone attend a church on the 12th floor of an office building? We grew to 800. In 1986, it was time to move again. Our congregation purchased 12 acres of farmland and began construction on our very first building. Only 3 years after this, we would purchase an additional 12 acres to build our much-needed educational building. It would be used for Sunday school classes, youth and children ministries, a fellowship hall, and a Christian training center. Over the next 14 years, Countryside would double in size and see thousands of lives changed with the gospel of Jesus Christ, both locally and internationally. Our ministry would send out missionaries all over the world to accomplish the Great Commission, and would also help to plant hundreds of churches here and abroad. Then, in 2004, God would call us to expand once again. As much as we had seen God move in our ministry up to this point, it would only be the beginning of what He wanted to accomplish through us. The next 5 years would truly be a journey of faith, giving, and sacrifice as we took hold of the vision God had given us. Each step along the way, every hurdle, every obstacle we would face, God would prove His faithfulness and see us through. We watched not only our new worship center be built, but the faith in our hearts as well. Our new worship center is a testimony to God's faithfulness, goodness, and grace in our lives. Who would have thought that 8 people in a living room would have such a worldwide impact? As we begin the next chapter of our God-given destiny, we are reminded that it was never about buildings to begin with, but always about people. God has called us to reach out to our community and our world with His unfailing love. Whatever the future holds for us at Countryside, we will be ready, as we've always been, to step out in faith and do whatever He calls us to do.